the whole presentation thing, I think it's gonna help us quite a lot. So tonight Nicole's gonna show us the lead entity and the lead process a little bit. And then once she's finished, because before I used to do something and then someone else will present, and apparently I tend to speak too much looking at the presentations. I just take too much time. So we're gonna do it the other way around. Nicole's gonna do her bit, and then I'm gonna go through quotes because Julian was kind enough to tell us what we've done and what we've got left. And we've got left quotes, orders, invoices. So we're gonna do that, and then we're also gonna do a little bit of relationship insights and go into a little bit more detail within dashboards and views and stuff like that. Because I remember in the past, they might ask us, oh, if you want to see all of your opportunities that are in progress, which dashboards would you choose, or something like that. So we're just gonna go through them and make sure we know what's there. But for now, I'm just gonna pass it on. Oh, the one last thing, I've sent you guys a feedback form because I'm just curious. That's just because this is our 10th session. I said at the beginning it'll be 12 sessions. I know it was really hard for everyone to keep their Tuesdays and Thursdays free and to be committed to this and to do the work and everything else. So I know it's really tiring and hard. By the end of the 12th session, we will have gone through all of the information needed. I also have a meeting with Microsoft tomorrow to see whether they're going to pay for our exams or not. So tomorrow I should know. But even so, we should all book our exams before May, as Julian said, so that we also have the knowledge fresh, and we also get a good deal on our exams with Microsoft if we take them before May. So then the plan is that after the 12th session, I want to do some more exam prep with whoever wants to join me. It will probably not be as often or as demanding, but I'll figure out a way, because I still feel like we don't have enough experience yet to be able to pass this exam. We need more experience, it feels like. Right, I'm done now.
Uh,
Nicole.
Anna, just on the exam thingy, Chris was saying that cognitive may pay half, but I'm not 100% sure on the whole rules and regulations. So
Cognitive, they have this, they want to help, and clearly they've organized the Women in Dynamics event, and they really want to get into this whole diversity movement, which I think is great. No one contacted me yet, but if Chris said so, I'm just gonna email them and ask it.
like, yeah, I don't know. He just like kind of said that's normally what they would do, but I, I don't let me be your main source on that. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, whatever we can get, we'll take.
Yeah.
But within, as if with everything, once you've signed up for something and someone puts an effort into it, and they negotiate, they give you some money, or they give you a free course, or they give you a voucher, or I don't know, free exams, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It is a bit of responsibility on your side as well, to be able to actually take the exam. So once anyone pays for it, that's it. We have to take it, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
But even so, this is why I'm totally offering my support, and my guess is some other people will do as well,
Yeah.
because quite a few people have started, joining us and helping us in this journey. So I think is really, really cool. So we are really, you know, a door opener. It feels like we're really a door opener, and this will really change something for anyone who wants to get into IT. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I'll keep you up to date anyway.
I'll too. Everybody.
Cool. So you can start sharing your screen. Okay.
Wait, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do it slide by slide. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, I am getting lost already. So I'm just going to show you basically how to create a lead in Microsoft Dynamics 365. Really simple. But I'm going to take a step back and kind of say to you guys, okay, what is a lead? So before you can even create a lead, you need to know why you're creating a lead. And a lead is basically someone that's interested in something you're doing, interested in your organization. So for my examples that I'm going to be using, some of the leads that I've received as a DRM, through DRM, which is my digital raspberry marketing company. And we'll just kind of show you the process as well. Then why do we need to track leads? Basically, this is in a nutshell. So better organization, increase efficiency, create customer sales pitches. It's more, your reporting is much more accurate, and your customer retention levels will be increased. Okay, cool. So how do we create a lead? Okay, let's see if there's any break. No. Oh, there it is. That's broken. Oh, come on. There we go. So there is the long way or the quick way. So I'm going to show you the long way first. So basically, you go to your sales dashboard, go to your leads, and we're going to create a new lead. Some of my buttons are broken, so I'll just kind of explain to you the next steps, but I'll get to that when I get there. So,
sorry, Nicole, about that. I don't think it's just your buttons. So not only did I see Anita had the same problem; she couldn't qualify a lead.
Yeah,
and
I couldn't do the same.
Carrie couldn't qualify a lead either. And then on the groups, because I've looked it up on forums, and many people said, "Oh, we can't qualify leads."
Yeah.
So far, the only way this has worked is by creating a new form. Or from the view. So
yeah,
we're just gonna have to wait for Microsoft to fix it. Yeah.
No, because I tried so many different ways, and the only way was to actually do it through the form. So I was like, cool, at least it does something.
Yeah, it's not your trial. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so basically, I can do the latest lead that I've received. So it's with a company called LearnBright, and they want us to run marketing campaigns for them for a virtual reality learning environment. So this guy came, he gave me a call. I was sitting in the dining room one afternoon feeding with kids. So I had to explain to him, please excuse the noise, because I've got the kids running around in the background. So I'm trying to hear what he's trying to say, and at the same time take down notes on what we're talking about. So this guy came, gave me a phone call and said, okay, I'm keen on marketing campaigns. So I'm going to add that as a topic, campaigns. And his name was Ken. Cool. And he was the customer relationship manager. Okay, if you can add in also as much detail as possible, it will also help your sales team find out who these people are. I'm going to add in random numbers. Okay, I'll be cool. Then there's more information down here where you can add the company information. So they were LearnBright, and obviously their website. And you can add the address as well, which I'm not going to do. Let me just do it. I'm in it now. Cool. What's nice with this leads form is this little, I think this is like the best part of the leads form, is this little post activity notes, OneNote section. Excuse me. So within this, you've got activities, you've got notes, and in this activity thing, this is like my favorite part here. So I can add that Ken gave me a call. Call it an inquiry call. Please excuse my spelling, it's really late. And this was an incoming call. So cool, done. Now within this, I can add tasks. So now he's asked me to give him a quote on some campaigns. So I've obviously got a deadline on that. So I need to now remind myself that I need to now give him a quote. I'm going to add a task and say, okay, quotes, call back. And he needs it next week. Priority is really high. Cool. So now that is my new task. What's also cool with this little thing is, if it works, there's normally a drop-down menu there that's not working.
I think you need to save it and refresh the form, because I don't think it saved it for you. That's why.
Okay, let me save. Ah, there we go. Thank you. I can email Ken directly from my Dynamics 365. I can track all the emails that are coming in, going out, so I don't have to go through my outbox and try search for all these emails that we're going to be going back and forth now. So I can email him from here. See, I've got his email, send him a message, and I can track it now. I'm not going to send that message now. Okay. The next one was, I think I've gone through it. Oh, okay. There was another one that I wanted to show, but I think it's further down. Okay, so basically that's the long way to create a lead. The next one, which is really cool, is creating a lead when you're on the go. So I tried to download the mobile app on my phone, but it did not really work because I wanted to show you how it's done on the mobile version. It's actually really cool because it showed me on his phone. Is that so? Say, for example, you're out and about at a trade show and you meet up with a potential lead. But obviously now you don't have time to open up your laptop and fill in all the details. You can literally do it on your phone as a quick input. So you would go to this awesome little dashboard here and say, okay, cool, I'm going to create a quick lead. So you're at the trade show. This guy is interested in doing some blog writing. You don't really know the budget, time frame, probably within the quarter. Lead source, you saw him at a trade show. And his name was Tom Jones, and his company is SingStar. And all you got from him was a telephone number. You can go back to that later once you phone Tom Jones at SingStar when you're back at the office. You can then go back to your full list, phone him up, and then you could enter in more details once you've got them. I think I've missed a slide. Okay, so I've already explained the cool things that you can do with the lead on your activities and your notes and your posts, etc., etc. You can also, for example, import a bunch of leads. So your sales team have gone out cold calling a bunch of people and they've put together a list of potential leads. But now, obviously, you don't want to add this in one by one because it's going to take up too much of your time. So you can import a whole bunch of leads from Excel. But you just need to make sure that it's in the right format, which you can download off here. So what you can do is you can go import data. And literally drop and drag the test sheet into there. Well, it won't be the test sheet, it would be the bunch of leads. Say next. This little part I'm not really too sure on. I don't know if you could explain that, Anna. It popped up earlier and I was just like, okay, I figured it would just
Yeah. So that bit.
yeah.
The way you've done it. So the way you've done it, I assume you've downloaded a search, an Excel search from CRM,
Yes.
or you've just made up, right?
Yeah, no, this was the CRM one.
Yeah. So you can download a template, or you can also download. I'll shut up for you to show us. Mute.
Okay.
Show us the Excel, please.
Oh, sorry. So this was from CRM itself.
Exactly. So that thing you can download from Advanced Find or from any view, or as it says, download template under import records.
Yeah.
And then you fill it in and then it goes back in. But what you can also do is just make up a file yourself and then import it in. And this is really cool because you can make up your own data, and it doesn't have to have the same names, or it doesn't have to be in the same order or anything. Once you've told them, oh, I am importing leads, this import tool, it knows how to check the data type. And according to the data type, it suggests some fields, but you don't have to go by those fields. So it knows how to take your table header. You will see that Nicole's going to show you in a bit. You'll see that in the left-hand side, you've got the header in your table in Excel. And then within the right-hand side, you've got with the drop-down lists. There you choose which columns from CRM map into your Excel spreadsheet. Now, the cool thing about that is that you can import lookups. For example, Nicole's just going to import some leads, which means probably his name, phone number, and what they want, which is text mostly, right? So the CRM knows, oh, it's text. I've got these fields as text. I suggest you should use these. But if you think you shouldn't use these, you can just switch them over to other fields. However, you might be importing, more complex records, such as opportunities, for example. So within opportunities, you saw we have contacts, and we have accounts, and products, and all that. So within that, you can download the Excel template from the opportunities, and for the contact, you only need the name. So it knows how to match your contact on the name and actually create the lookup. And if it's not there, create the lookup by making the connection with your existing contact. And if the contact's not there, it's going to create it for you. So that's really awesome, and a lot of people use that. So thank you, Nicole, for showing us the import capabilities.
I did in the beginning try a couple with creating my own template, and when I did try import it, it said wrong formats. Why don't you try download the Dynamics format? So that's why I thought, okay, well, it should be easy enough to use because Excel is Excel, but it just it didn't like what I'd done, so that's why I just downloaded the Dynamics.
It does that. It's not straightforward. So once you get a template, it will work. It does that. Sometimes I do that as well. For example, download things, then just get the header. It does have some connections within CRM. It's got each entity has its own GUI that we don't see within the same Excel spreadsheet that you've got. If you scroll, I think if you look at it, your columns begin with letter M or something like that. And then if you scroll all the way to the left, you'll find A, B, C, D, all of the letters with weird numbers. So that's why sometimes it says, oh, wrong format.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Could I suggest something about the format?
Yeah.
Sure.
Tanya here. I think it likes the CVS file. So when you import a template into the system, it has to be saved as a CVS file.
CSV.
Okay.
Oh, CVS, yes, CSV, that's the one. Thank you.
Yeah, Anya's right, actually. If you just build your own and save it as CSV with the right format, it will import it. But you know what? The point is, after you struggle for about half a day, you can import thousands of records. That's the most important part.
Yeah. So I just thought, just let me do what they want and then take from there. Their templates are very straightforward anyway. Okay, cool. So we've we've imported a bunch of leads. We've added a couple of leads. But now, how do you actually know when you want to qualify a lead, disqualify a lead? So basically, you would qualify a lead when you've kind of spoken to them a bit more. So you've had a phone call with them or you've had proper emails with them. You would qualify them because they now are interested in what you want to do. So because my button is not working, I'm going to qualify it through this little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Kendak, and I'm just going to say qualify from here. And now he is qualified when it works. Okay. But then there's also times where you can get a lead in, and they were keen on the business, and then now they're just not really interested, or they've moved on to other people. So Sarah Smith was looking for some research blogs. She's no longer interested, so I'm going to disqualify her. So she's no longer interested. The thing with it, even though you disqualify a contact, they're not going to be lost. So she could phone you up a couple of months later and say, you know what, I'm actually keen on the blogs again. So if we can then go look for her again in the search, and you can requalify her. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it was the same lady anyway.
It was Sarah. That's Sandra.
Thank you. Honestly, my brain is so mush right now. Okay, so I'm going to go find Sarah again, who is now gone.
Try closed leads. You should see her under closed leads as a view.
Okay, here we go. Closed lead. Thank you, Sarah Smith, research blog. Cool. So if you go there, you'll see at the bottom here it says she's disqualified. But now I'm going to reactivate her, but I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. But in a real case scenario, you can just reactivate her here using this little button. I don't know why it's not working now. No, I can't do it from there. Yeah, but you kind of just get the idea. Then you can also assign a lead to a bunch of people as well. So for example, if I go back into my open leads, I am not going to have time to go through each and every one of these guys and give them a call back or send them in. We can actually send bulk emails from them. But for example, this one that I'm going to use, we're going to phone them back and ask them, would they be interested in more information? But like I said, I'm one person. I don't have time to phone everyone back. So I'm going to assign a lead to a person. So for this example, I'm going to say, no, I'm not gonna get hold of Darren Parker. I'm gonna assign him to Anna because I can. It's broken. Okay, it should work.
I don't have a security role, that's why it didn't work.
Okay.
But the functionality is correct the way you showed it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and then basically then I assume Anna would then get an email saying Darren Parker has been assigned to you. Example.
I will only get an email if you make it for me to get an email. Otherwise, I will see this lead on my list, on my to-do list, and in my dashboards and in my view.
Cool.
But I will know, because in the end, this is how all companies work, right? You sell to a person, then you go on holiday like normal people do. And when you go on holiday, maybe you have to call them. Now, you're not going to call them from South Africa, are you? So
No.
you're just going to assign it to someone else.
Exactly. So, I don't know. Let me just, okay. So, for example, I had to add a bunch of people in my team. So, does everyone know how to add a user to this little area here? So I can't see any of you.
If you can remind us,
now.
if you can remind us, that would be great.
Okay, cool. So, okay, so I'm just going to show you how to add people in. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down to your little admin. And you're just going to add a user right over there. Oops. And literally you just fill in all their little details. Before you press add, you have to ensure that you put that on. And then you can kind of say, okay, what are they going to have access to? And then you save it. And then it'll come up again in your Teams thingy when you assign a user to a lead.
There's also a cool video on that. It's 4 minutes long. It's on YouTube. I know someone who's done it. If you ever forget. And also you need to assign a security role. Otherwise, you won't be able to, that user won't be able to log in. So that's the only step that's missing. Okay.
So I've just got to go in through the long way. Cool. So within leads as well, you've got some really cool graphs. I know I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to graphs and stuff, but please just bear with me. So in this little button here, you've got this little one kind of pie chart that says these are all your warm leads. Let's say now you go in all leads, it now changes. You can also now filter this down even more. And you're going to say, okay, I want to see all the leads by source. So how did these leads actually come about? So the biggest one here is blank, which, okay, it's not going to help me right now. But then the next one is advertising, partners, trade shows. So you can actually filter these down even more. So say I'm going to go into advertising. I can see who is all kind of led to my business through advertising, or who was led to my business via word of mouth. You can also then go say, who are the owners? Okay, there's no owners there. Generation rate's not going to work. And say lead source. I think rating. Oh. Yeah. So then you can kind of say, okay, these are all the owners. So I've got majority of them. The next one is this lady over here. So you can kind of see who's responsible for what. So that's just a little pie graph charting. Then, okay, so then obviously this was the next presentation going on. What next? Which is basically once you've qualified a lead, you will then go through the business process flow, which I'm probably not going to take you through now. I will leave that for Anya and Danielle. But let me just show you where you would go from there. So once your lead is qualified, it will take you to the development phase, the propose phase, and then eventually you close it off, whether he would become a contact or an account, or whether you're going to not do business with them. So basically that's adding a lead in a nutshell with a couple of bits and pieces. I hope that was okay.
Thank you very much, Nicole. I think that was really good. So the most important things, we learned some really new things here, such as importing information and assigning records. This is something that I never covered before, and this is something that's very used within many companies. Many companies just ask, what am I gonna do? You know, I've got a really hot sale and no one, you know, to deal with it. And then we have this whole assign functionality, which is very, very good. The only thing that I would add is with regards to when we add new users, please don't forget to add to add the security role. Anya, you're all right. She actually, why don't you take this, Anya? Explain why wouldn't we add a user and an Office 365 administrator would?
Okay, sure. So it just depends from what perspective we are looking at. So I'm currently working for a company where I'm the system administrator for the CRM, but I'm not the system administrator for Office 365 product. So I would not be able to add new users to the system because they have to go through a certain process, which I'm not fully sure about. But if you're an Office 365 administrator, so you would be adding new users if there's a new starter, and there are certain steps that probably have to be set up, and then the Office 365 administrator would add a user through the portal. So once that user is added through the portal, they will be enabled in the CRM. So you'll be able to see that they are in the CRM, and then you have to give that person, you have to assign that person to a business unit, and then you can give that person a specific security role.
So yeah, that's because you guys use business units as well. But the important thing is that you are still responsible for getting them a role. Without the role, they can't move. They can't do anything within Dynamics. The reason they don't let you do it is because normally these are all connected through a single sign-on and with an Active Directory server as well. So we would never have access to a company's Active Directory system because we are not security people. If we were security people, only then could we add, and see users and manage licenses as well. Also, at the moment, we have like 25 licenses, and those are free because we were operating on trials. But in real life, a license costs from £35 to £69 per month per user. So companies would wanna get a good handle on that, and they would wanna know who they're paying for, for sure. So this is why we're not doing it. But it's really good anyway, because sometimes they'll ask us, because no one knows this, and the client might ask us, I want a new user, and we see the plus button and we say, yeah, sure, I'll add it, and then you realize that you can't, and it's a bit embarrassing to explain that you actually can't, and you need to talk to another team, and it will take a while. Okay. So what I wanted to show you as well today was quotes, and I think we left off in a good position from leads. So Nicole qualified the lead, so now we've got an opportunity, and we can work off the opportunity. Next time the girls will cover business process flows. It's a really big subject, so it it was only fair that they had more time to prepare. I'm sure they will have a lot to work on it anyway. So for now, I'm just gonna quickly show you quotes, or at least parts of it. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm wondering. Can you see my screen? Or is it blinking?
It's blinking.
It's flashing.
Oh, I'm wondering why. I'm gonna stop
Just
and
going
try
on.
again. Let's try again. Now?
That's better.
That's okay. Okay, cool. Right, so you see I've got an opportunity here, but I'm just gonna visit one of our old opportunities. By the way, I love the fact that everyone has like their own interests and their own subjects, and they apply to Dynamics, and I think that's wonderful. I mean, we're really proving that. Do you know what? Dynamic is not just for selling gadgets and printers and computers and bicycles, and we can also sell marketing stuff, and we can do a pet, not servicing, but a pet clinic, or we can do a shop, or all sorts of things in Dynamics. So what are quotes? Quotes are actually proposals for our clients. So we've got a lead, which means someone's interested in our business. We then qualify it into an opportunity, which means we know kind of roughly what they want. And then we've got a quote, which means we are proposing a certain price to this customer. Now, within a sales process, you don't have to use all of the entities. Some people use leads and opportunities. Some people only use quotes, orders, and invoices. Other people use just accounts, contacts, and then for their sales are doing something custom. So you don't have to use all of it. But if you were to use all of it, you would qualify a lead into an opportunity. And for to speed things up, I already have the opportunity, right? I have this flowers for event in May that we've created early on. This is qualified. I will open it up. Right, so this is my opportunity. I don't have much information here, but we'll go through that with one of you in a future session to go through the forms. I'm really keen in going through the forms because of what Julian told us, that we have to pay attention to the forms. I tend to listen to Julian. He's like the master Jedi when it comes to exams and trainings and stuff like that. But anyway, we're getting here, and I've got some product line items. So I've got 2 product line items, and my estimated revenue is £15. Oh, let's just play with the quantity a little bit just to show this better. So let's just say that they're gonna go for 50 beige tulips. Right. So now this should recalculate good, a better estimated revenue now. So we know at this point that this customer wants these types of flowers, but then we would like to propose maybe a certain price, or maybe we want to see if they want more or less flowers. It's very similar to when we call our phone company and say, I've been paying £30 for 2 years for 10 gig of internet, and now I can see that you have a new offer for new customers, you know, for £10, and I want the £10 offer, and they'll try to sell you a £20 offer first, and then a £10 offer, and so on. Well, this is something that you shouldn't do, but you know, you can still offer multiple choices on an opportunity, so we would use quotes for that. So in order to create a quote, all I need to do is hit the plus sign here, add a quote record. Now this brings up the full form. You remember how we used to add a product, and for Diana, I had a colleague here, sorry. How we had to add a full product. We could just do it in line, but in this case, Dynamics opens up the whole form, because maybe I want to do something with this. Maybe I don't just want to you know, present it as it is. Maybe I can do dates, for example. I can say this offer is valid for spring only, so this offer will be valid until May, for example. Or maybe we want to say, if you buy within next week, you're gonna get a 10% discount, or you know, or something like that. But we can also just leave it as it is. But let's just say for this example, I'm just gonna put some dates in between. You know, when is this valid? Now these dates, let's just say they're valid from today until the 5th of May. So for 1 month, they can buy these flowers for this price. So even though they said, oh, I really wanna, I am committed to you, I'm just saying, until, if you don't pay until May, you won't get my price. What you also can do within at quote level, you can also add a shipping method as well, because maybe they're far away. So let's just do DHL, for example. This is an option set. We can modify this if we have many shipping methods. We can have payment terms in case they want to pay, you know, in not all at once, or if they pay sooner, or we can do stuff like that. I really don't know what this means, but this is like a sales term. Whoever's in sales will understand this. But then the important bit here is, of course, I can, you know, I can modify stuff around here. I can add a discount, as I said. So if they buy within this month, I can give them a 10% discount, for example, and this will recalculate the whole thing exactly as it does in an opportunity. But this is at quote level still, right? This is not an opportunity. This is a quote. If I want to modify the tax, I won't be able to do it from here, because the tax applies to the whole quote, which has multiple products. So if I wanna change the tax, I will have to do it at product level, and this is how the tax will change here, and the whole values will change. Let's do it actually. Let's see if I can do it. My internet is a bit slow because I'm at work, but hopefully I'll be able to go through all of it. So you know, this is the line item for my quote. It's right, so it's my tulip here. So within here, I can obviously change the tax. So let's just say that we've got a £10 tax on this as well, and we can do a manual discount also. This is just for this quote, right? So this doesn't mean that the product, so this is an existing product, right? The product itself doesn't change. I'm just making these changes for this proposal for my client. And then I've got addresses as well, because maybe I want to ship different products to different addresses. We can do that through Dynamics also. and set a delivery date. But I just modified that. I'm just going to save it and then close. When it closes, it will take me back to my quote. Now, back in my quote, what I can also do, so you know, we can have activities here as well, exactly like we have with other entities. So we can add a task and say send kind reminder. Don't you just love kind reminders, passive aggressive style, when they just say kind reminder, just finish your training or fill in your expenses. But let's just say that we're going to send a kind reminder to tell them, look, if you're not going to pay, you're going to lose your offer. And you've got notes as well for your communication with the client. So you know, loads of things to do in this area of the quote. But even more important things, what you can actually do is set up more addresses. So well, you can do it like that. So you can look up addresses actually if you've got the addresses built in your system, because your quote is for a certain person, right? Or for a certain company. So you can actually pull the address from the company you know, or from your contact. In my case, I think I only have the contact. But what I can also do is set it as billing address and shipping address as well, so that it fills it up in one go. So I just have this address here. I'm just gonna select this one. I can have multiple, of course. I'll add it in the, you know, in the normal way. I can just add a new address, but I've got this here, and it's a customer address lookup, which means that my customer actually lives here, right? So it's got the address from my customer that I've selected on my opportunity and got copied into my quote. So I'm just gonna add this address, this one. It's got no name, but it's still there. So I'm just gonna click OK, and there it is. So my address got copied into both my fields. So it's very, very useful for time purposes. And you would fill all this information in for two reasons. One of them would be if you want to offer them you know, more of the same opportunity, and the other one would be if you want to print your quote for the customer. So within this, you can actually print the quote out. And this is different to document templates, by the way. So this will print a quote based on a mail merge. So a mail merge is a type of document that you would create similar to document templates, but you will have some mail merge templates there already, but out of the box. So you can just choose one, or you can start with a blank document anyway, and then you can choose the data fields. So you've got some fields you know, selected on here already by default, but you can, you know, you can change this. So maybe I don't want this one, but I want the exchange rate, for example, and click OK and click download. Let's see. So this will actually download a Word document. So within the Word document, you will then be able to change your document and print it out to your customer. At the moment, I don't really have the Dynamics 365 macro, so I need to install an add-in, and then it will appear exactly as it appears in here. So it will be this sort of a document. What we can also do is print out a Word document as well. So I've got one out of the box. We can obviously create another one. So this is a very, very simple document. It's just something that CRM created for me. I didn't do it myself. But you can see here that you can quickly print out and mail this, or just, you know, attach it to an email and send it to your customer, and they will see, oh, you know, this is the tax that they had to pay. This is the quantity and the price and everything else. And I could have added discounts here and the when it was valid as well. Oh, it's got it here. So out of the box it says that this is only valid until May 2018, and of course we can modify this. This is a functionality a lot of people use actually to create proposals. I'm not gonna, and what we need to do, so we can only edit this, this quote in draft state. So at the moment is in draft state, as you can see here, as any other entities. If you actually want to do something with it, you're gonna have to activate it. So once you've activated the quote, it becomes read-only. So this is what you've offered to your customer. You cannot change anything on it. And you're sending, you know, I've just clicked on the product and this is why I did something, but this doesn't mean that I can change anything right on here. So once this quote is active, you cannot edit it any longer, and it means this is what you've sent to your customer. If I go back to my opportunity, this is my opportunity. So within my opportunity, you will see that I've got one quote, and I'm gonna go ahead and create another one just to show you what happens. It didn't load it. Right, so a very interesting thing. So within my opportunity, I've got this opportunity with these products and quantities and everything else. And you can see that my estimated revenue is this. But then after speaking to the customer, I decided to give them a discount, a 10% discount. So once I've given them a discount, the total amount that I'm going to get from this sale is actually this number here. Now, this is when business process flows really come in handy, because a lot of companies have approval processes, right? You as the business owner would want to set up an amount and a reasonable discount that you would want to give to your customers. So then everything will have to go through you again. You might wanna use document templates for that, because not everyone needs to have access to CRM. As I said, this you know, the licenses cost money. So if you're only gonna go into approve stuff, you don't need the license. Someone can just email you a document and say, do you approve of me selling flowers at this price or not between these dates? And what we can also do, I'm just gonna create a new one really quickly. It's gonna act exactly the same. Every time I create a new quote, it just gets all of the information from the opportunity, but I will not get the address information, for example, because the address information, I've set it up at quote level. So maybe I've got a quote for one location and a different quote for a different location. I can also have that. But let's just say it's the same location for now. You can see shipping information. I don't have anything in here. I only have the information from my opportunity. So in this case, what I'd like to do, because I'm not sure that my customer will actually agree to this price, I think that this is not in their budget. What I'd like to do actually is send them 25 of this item and actually tell them, do you know what, don't you want to buy 35 of this other item? Because, you know, because they're cheaper. This way you get more flowers, and it's cheaper as well for you. So maybe you want to do that instead. And when I'm doing that, because I'm you know, I do have a business sense, I will take out the discount as well. So this is a discount on the opportunity. I took it out because I'm trying to sell this in a different manner so that the client feels like they got more for less money. I'm not very good at sales, but you know, if it was me, I would buy the flowers like that because they're just more. So again, I can get an effective from, effective to, and address methods. You've seen how we can do that, how we can do those. So I'm just gonna activate this quote as well. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong button here. So I've activated this quote. So this quote is now, you know, I can email it, I can do whatever I want with it. But let's just say that I've emailed it and then my customer came back to me and said, do you know what? I want 25 of each. I don't want 35 of the roses. I just want 25 of each flowers. I just want 15 total actually. Can you do that? And then what I'm gonna do is revise this quote. So I've got this revised thing here. Now I also have a revision ID that starts out with 0 and it's locked. So what you can do with quotes is revise them. But once you've revised them, they don't actually go back to draft. They go to closed, and CRM creates a new quote for us with the same information in draft status. And then we have a revision ID over here. The reason for this is so that, you know, your supervisor can actually have a look at what you've tried to offer to a client. And then based on that, you know, you can do statistics, you can improve your sales, or you can even see if you've approved one thing and your salesperson sold a totally different thing. So this is a very, very handy feature, and you can't get around it. So if you wanna edit it, you can't. It's just the way it works, really. The revised quotes. So they said they only want 25 of each, so I'm changing it to 25 of each. And because we've come to an agreement, I'm just gonna activate the quote. I'm sending them the new proposal. They're like, yeah, okay, so I'll just get that. And then I can create an order. So for me, this is the winning quote. I've sent it to the customer. This is what I'm going to sell. And I'll just click on create order. Now what happens here, this is another event and an entity, right? This says you have won the quote into an order, right? So the quote will be closed and an order will be created, very similar to how we do it with leads and opportunities. Once we qualify a lead, it creates an opportunity. I've done it on this date. And it's asking me, do you actually want to close the opportunity? And do you want to calculate the actual revenue? Or do you not want to do that? Now, the only reason why you wouldn't do that is if within the opportunity, you are going to win multiple quotes. So let's just say that they're buying these flowers for a certain address, and they're buying the other flowers as well for a different address. Now, if they're doing that, you don't want to close the opportunity because your opportunity just got a lot bigger, and there's no sense in creating a new opportunity either, because you have the same products. So what you would do in that case, you would click on no, right? And then you would click OK, and it would just close. So let's just do this, 1 and no. Actually, no, I don't want to do this because I want to show you what happens when you click on yes. But if you click on no, this is what happens. This gets closed as 1, and the opportunity is still open, and we can work with it further. But if we click on yes, then this will close everything on the opportunity. I can navigate to my opportunity here. We can see it there. Okay. So I can navigate to my opportunity here. There we go. It just got into an order. You can see it changing here, right? When I said 1, boom, it went into my order. But now I'm going back to my opportunity, hopefully. Yeah. So I'm back into my opportunity, and my opportunity should now be closed. Isn't it closed? I think it didn't have a chance to actually close. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to refresh this. I've got multiple open actually. Opportunities. Oh, I think I clicked on it too many times. Opportunity. And let's just see what happened. So in theory, this opportunity should be closed as 1 with the revenue that I gathered from the quote.
Anna, excuse me, did you click yes to calculate the revenue from the quote and no to close the opportunity? Could that be why it's not?
It is possible that I clicked wrong things.
I'm not sure if I saw
You know
that.
what? We can do it again. So we can see it here. So we have the 1 quote that turned into an order, and we already saw the order. I don't want to keep you too long, that's why I'm rushing. So we've got this, that's 1, and this turned into an order. We've got this one which is closed because we revised it and it got closed, and we've got this other one which is actually open. So if we go here, this is active, and we can create an order. And I've got yes, close the opportunity and calculate actual revenue from quotes. So it will add up this quote with the other quote, and we'll get what we want, hopefully. Let's see if it works. Yeah. Right, so this is my order. My order knows that it came from this opportunity and this quote. So let's just go back to the opportunity. There we go. So I didn't click the right buttons. Thank you, Claire. I didn't click the right buttons the first time, but it closed it down now. And my actual revenue, let me find my actual revenue. Where are you, actual revenue? Should have calculated the whole thing.
Is it at the top of your activity pane?
It's not. I want to see the actual. Oh, it's here. Yeah, you're right. So here it is, my actual revenue. This is actually a field on the opportunity. We can make it visible on the form as well. But it closed with the right, with the right thing. And now the activity pane comes in really handy, right? Because it says this one was closed, but this one was 1 and this other one was 1. And in total, this is how much we've made, even though we estimated this thing. And if we, there must be, I don't know, but there must be a dashboard that highlights this, the fact that we've sold for much more than we thought we would. So this is the main deal with quotes. If we know how to use them, they can be very useful. They can be very useful for our business if we know how to use them. We don't have to use them through opportunities. We can just create them on their own, and they will work exactly the same. But traditionally you would add an opportunity as well, because it measures your sales so much better. It tells you, look, this lead from from this lead from the trade show you gained like more than £1,000. So it's a very good channel for you. Go to more trade shows, basically. This is what it's telling you. Again, I'm not a sales or a marketing expert. It's just out of experience what happens normally. Right, that's it for tonight. I wanted to tell you that Chris has extended all of our trials. So even though you got an email with, oh, your trial's about to expire, they don't. So they won't expire. You will be able to use them for a very long time, thanks to him. That's one thing. And then the other thing, I did email Megan for you guys to gain access to DLP. Only Nicole and Daniela actually emailed me that they don't have access to DLP. If I assume that all of you have now access to DLP, which is again very, very useful, very, very useful tool. Oh yeah, and I sent a form. I already said that about the form, the feedback form. It's my attempt to try out yet another Google tool, so that Google will literally know everything, 100% information on me now. So yeah, I'll see you next time. That's it. I'm going home.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Anna.